This morning I typed, "Is Calgary real estate?" into Google. Here's what came up. Is it going up? Is it crashing? Is it going down? I actually laughed when I saw it, which is kind of wild, but honestly, it makes sense because the truth is they're all kind of right. Calgary isn't moving in one direction right now. It really depends on what you own. If you've got a detached home, your market looks very different than if you have a condo. And if you're only looking at the citywide headlines, it's easy to walk away with the wrong impression. So let me show you the June numbers, because once you pull them apart, you'll see why many people are coming to completely different conclusions about the same market. So let's start with sales. Nationally, the story is rough. Economists are pointing to Toronto sales sitting around 40% below their 10-year average, Vancouver around a third below. That's a real pullback in demand. When you hear the national housing market is struggling, that's mostly Toronto and Vancouver. There isn't really a national housing market. There's a bunch of local ones. Alberta's a different picture. We're still growing. Population actually grew here last year, even when Canada's fell, which is pretty wild. And in Calgary, June sales came in at 2,197, down about 4% from last year. So yeah, slower, but slower off some of the strongest years we've ever had. We're not falling off a cliff. We're coming back to normal. New listings were 3,899, down almost 8% year over year. So sellers are pulling back too. And that matters because when new listings slow down at the same time as sales, it keeps the market from getting oversupplied. Inventory sat at 6,799, down about 2% from last year. So again, not this flood of homes everybody's imagining citywide. A touch above the 10-year trend, but pretty in line with where we were last year. Here's where it gets interesting. Months of supply for the whole city is 3.09, which is balanced. Textbook balanced. If I stopped you right there, you'd think, okay, boring, balanced market, nothing to see here. But that citywide number is hiding everything, because underneath it, detached is at 2.49 months. Apartments are at 4.91 months, almost 5. That's not one market. That's a seller's market and a buyer's market stapled together and averaged out into the word balanced. So let's talk price, because this is where the split really shows up. Citywide benchmark was 572,500, down about 2% year over year, but detached benchmark was 750,500, only 1.4% down. And detached sales were actually up slightly over last year. Up. In a market, everybody's calling a downturn. And when you go district by district, the West End detached benchmark is over 1 million, up almost 4%, sitting at 1.9 months of supply. That is seller's market, full stop. Now, the apartment side. Apartment benchmark was $299,000, down almost 9% year over year. Sales are down over 20%. And in some districts like the East and Northeast, apartment prices are down 15%. That's a real correction in that segment. And here's a number I track myself that you won't see in the headlines. In June, 22.9% of homes sold at or over list price. So call it 1 in 5. And of those, 11.3% actually sold over asking. The rest went right at list. That's down 25.7% back in May, so the competition is cooling off. Okay, so why? Why is the condo market getting hit while detached is holding? This is the part nobody on the news actually explains. Two things happened at the same time. On the demand side, migration reversed. We went from record high migration, mostly international, to actually more international migrants leaving than arriving. Lowest level since COVID. That was federal policy. They pulled back student visas, they stopped renewing work permits. So the demand that was filling all of those rentals kind of evaporated. And on the supply side, we spent 3 years building record high starts, and a huge chunk of that, about 65% of the apartment product under construction, was purpose-built rental. That was policy too, a CMHC program pushing rental construction. So you've got all this rental coming online right as the renters stop showing up. vacancy rates go up, rents come down, landlords start throwing in incentives to keep the tenants they have, and when renting is cheap and easy, fewer renters rush to buy. Investors pull back too because the math doesn't work as well. Layer on all the brand new condos competing with resale, and you get exactly what we're seeing: a steep pullback in apartment sales and prices sliding. Now, flip it, detached. Detached starts actually fell last year. Builders were not flooding the detached market, so the inventory never built up the same way. That's why detached is sitting at 2.49 months and holding its price. Where detached prices did soften, it's pretty isolated. The north and south ends and the surrounding towns like Airdrie, Cochrane, Chestermere. And that's because that's where new construction is competing with resale at similar prices. Where no new build pressure, like the West End, prices are still climbing. So back to the question everybody's Googling. Is Calgary crashing? No. And I want to be careful here because that is not me cheerleading. The condo market is soft. Prices down almost 9%, and with everything still under construction, that pressure is not clearing up anytime soon. I'm not going to sugarcoat that for you. It's not great. But a soft condo segment is not a city falling apart. Detached is holding, houses in the West are still climbing, and the thing underneath all of it, jobs. Jobs are still growing. Alberta added more jobs than any other province this year. As long as people have work and keep showing up here, you don't get the kind of collapse people are scared of. Now, what would change my mind? I'm watching 3 things: migration, whether people keep coming; jobs, whether that growth holds; and business investment, whether the big money actually shows up. I'm not going to sit here and pretend where prices land in 6 months, because anybody who tells you they know that is guessing. But those are the 3 needles. That's what I'm watching, and that's what you should be watching too. Now, I always say this, and I mean it. I'm not here to tell you to go buy something. This is obviously what I do, and even I'll tell you the only reason to buy right now is if it was already your plan, you can hold it long term, and you can actually afford it. If those 3 things aren't true, there is no rush, especially on the condo side, where you've got time and choice on your side. If you have any questions, you could book a call with me at the link below. If you got any value from this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I did take a bit of a hiatus in June, but I'm back and I got a lineup of videos coming, so stay tuned. Today is the last day of the Calgary Stampede, so if you're heading down to the grounds, have fun and drink lots of water. It's super hot out. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon.